Okay, so here is the new 3500 Master Rotary Jig. You get all these pieces here. We'll start out with the basic extra long rubber band. It is, I believe it's 5 millimeters across, and I always tie one end in a knot like this, just because it's easier when you put it through the foot. It just holds it nice and easy, but we'll get to that later. So you get a rubber band. You get 4 feet that are all the same. They have a little notch there to hold the rubber band. And for the pen part of the jig, you get a 1 foot long 1/4 inch axle. You get the actual 3D printed pen body. You get 2 small bearings. You get a smaller, thinner but longer tube, and you get 6 1/4 inch nuts, and then you get the pulleys that go along with it. So that's the pen part. For the bottle stopper part, you get a 3/8 axle. It's shorter, it's 6 inches. Then you get 3 3/8 nuts, fatter, bigger in diameter, but shorter tube, 2 larger 3/8 bearings, and the bottle stopper jig body itself. So let's go through assembling all of this. So assembling the pen axle is actually quite easy. You take 1 nut, thread it on, maybe 4 inches or so, just about. And then you want to put on 1 bearing, one of the 1/4 inch bearings, and you want to put on the tube. And you want to put on the other 1/4 inch bearing, and then you want to put on another nut. And what you end up with there is the 1/4 inch nut, bearing, tube, bearing, and another nut. Snug it down, just hand snug is fine. So if you hold these, it'll rotate very nice and smooth. And then with the body itself, when the body's mounted on the laser, which we'll do here in a minute, you can just slide this in like that and slide it over into this one, and then slide this into this side, and it just holds it. This kind of floats free, and this has a stop in there. Let's see if we can. It has a stop, a little ridge in there, so the bearing won't go in anymore, like that. So you just slide it in, and you're good. And that's how you do the bearing part of it. But for the rest of it, for the pulley and the pen blank part, you want to get your pen blank and match it up as close to you as you can with one of the pulleys to the right diameter of the pen blank. So I would say that one. It's a little hard to see, I guess, but maybe I can take some pictures if someone wants to see. So we're going to use this pulley. So get the other 5 out of the way. So then you want to put on another nut, and then your pulley, and then another nut, and then you just roll all those on there. You want it to be pretty close to this, maybe down here. So I guess you could have done two nuts or 3 here with the pulley. You know, you could have done that first because this side's shorter. It's up to you. All right. Longer axle, longer threading times. All right, here we go. We're getting close. All right. So here we go. So then you have the nut, the pulley, and another nut. And then you put on another nut up to somewhere over here. And then For this part, you can use your bushings that you turn the pen with, or you can use CA bushings. I prefer CA bushings because I just always use them, and they're always by my laser instead of having to take them from my lathe area. So then you put that on there, and then you put another nut. As you can see, you have all this extra space. So if you're doing a cigar or a double barrel, you could put them both on here. So you could laser something. 5.9 inches is the max according to the website, and so that's probably somewhere around here. So you could laser both at the same time, which is awesome with this laser. Let me get this on here. So like I said, you can use the bushings that came with it, that you turn it with, or CA bushings. So that is how it looks. So you have basically 3 sections to assemble. Once this is assembled, you don't even need to take it off. You can just leave it on there. Same with this, unless you're changing the pulley. So, again, it's up to you. And then this, obviously, you're going to be changing out a lot. So when I've done multiple of these, so when I actually do it, I actually set all of this closer to this side. So I put the bearing area more toward the middle. But, again, it's all up to you. All right, let's assemble the bottle stopper part. This one is a lot less of everything that you have to do. Okay, so let's assemble the bottle stopper part of the jig. So you need 1 nut on the end here, and then put 1 bearing, the tube, another bearing, and another nut. Snug that down, and then same as before with the pens, it'll just spin nice and freely in there. And then same with this, same as the pen one we just did. This will slide in one end and slide in this other end. This one just kind of floats in there. There's no stop, but this front has a stop part, so it stops it. So then you just mount this on the laser, which we're going to do here in just a minute, and you're good to go. And then your bottle stopper piece can thread on here. And then if you need to turn a pulley, you can put that here with the other nut. So let's say you had something where you couldn't reference off the bottle stopper for the rubber band. You can turn your own pulley, sandwich it between here, and then tighten this down. And then you can use your pulley as a reference here. For the bottle stopper. I didn't make bottle stopper pulleys because there's, who knows how many sizes there are of people making pulleys. So I figure for this one, I just reference off right here, and it was perfectly fine. If you want to do the full bottle stopper size, you'd probably have to make a pulley. By that, I just mean a disc that is the same diameter as your blank that can sit here, so it'll be the right reference, because you want to reference the rubber band off of something that's the same diameter as the piece you're engraving. Just like on the pen, you want this to be the same diameter as this, so it doesn't skew or distort or make lines in the engraving, because if it's spinning too fast, it'll do that, or too slow, it'll smush it. Let's assemble this. Put this on the laser. So first thing is the feet. So you have your feet here, and you have your rubber band. So grab the feet. The 4 feet just go on the corners of it. So you have the 4 feet. So once the 4 feet are on there, the rubber band, like I said earlier, I tie a knot in one end and I feed that through the far side of the laser. And what that does is it allows me not to have to use the back teeth to hold it. I can just pull it, and it's easier that way. So once you have one side fed in and it's all good to go, you want to do the other side. And you want the rubber band to be straight here, not twisted at all. And then so then you feed that through the same hole in the front, and then you feed it through the front, and you have a nice, clean, straight rubber band there. So with the front here, once you have the rubber band through, what you want to do is pull this, kind of tight, not even too tight, just pull it a little bit. Pull it back up through here like this, around. Get the teeth and the rubber band to sort of be in the same spot, and it'll fall into there when you pull, and then let go, and then it'll stay tight like you had it. All of this is optional. If you want, you can use like a binder clip or something, or you can actually tie the rubber band through the hole in the laser itself to do pens. If you never use the bottle stopper that much, you don't really even need the feet, but they are included for your convenience. So here we have the bottle stopper jig that we assembled a little bit ago. There's two main plates on this. There's one up here and there's one on the bottom. This plate that goes all the way around. And what this does is this slot all the way across goes onto the bottom plate. So you just got to hold it in here like this, right on the plate, and just grab the other side and squeeze. And once it's on there, it'll it'll hold it perfectly fine. And so here, to take it off, you can take the whole thing off, or you can actually just slide this out if you need to make adjustments, let's say, like I want to right now. And then you can just slide this right back in. Put the rubber band on as your reference, and there you go. So there is the bottle stopper jig. Let's do the pen. So here's the pen body. The only difference really is that it's smaller. So that same thing, it just goes on right here and get you a little bit better shot, I guess. It goes on right here, this bottom plate. I'm just gonna grab and push. That's it. And then, since we already have this assembled, you can just slide that right in here. Like I showed you earlier, it pushes into the front bearing, and the back one just kind of floats there, and the rubber band goes under it, which is not what I did. There we go. And on this one, you can see the rubber band is just barely on the pulley. So what you would want to do is adjust it a little bit. So since you have all these nuts on here, you can just loosen the one for the pulley up a little bit, move the pulley over, tighten the second nut down, which will essentially move it over a little bit, and then you have it there. So what I did is I loosened this nut up, moved it over this way, and then tightened this one down, which moved the pulley down, which makes it perfectly aligned for it. So let me get this going here. Maybe I can actually show you an engraving or two. I'm just gonna keep going on this blank. I'll show you a better one in the bottle stopper here in a minute. So here we are at my laptop, and I'm gonna engrave that same diagonal line that I made. That way I can show you that it can go around a few times, 3 times. It's just a line like this. Crop it out a little bit. Cropping out the line there, and then have that there, and let's see here. I believe the height is 150 millimeters. And there we go. Okay. There it is. Cool, that should be good there. All right, let's try it. So there's the start right there on the first one, first rotation. There's the second rotation. Alright, that should be just about done. Here we go, we're going to put a little tribal design right here. So we're about to halfway. I'm going to turn the power down to 70 to see the difference. So this is 70% power, so same burn time, just 70% power. So this way we'll be able to see half and half, you know, what that 30% extra power does. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. These look the same to me. I don't know about you guys. Maybe the right side is a little cleaner, but that's about it. I'll have some more engraving videos in the next few weeks. And check out tshadow.com to get your own jig. Thanks.